So I came to Hopkins, and I asked what I felt were the most important questions about why we couldn't improve survival for malignant brain tumor patients, a question that both haunted and motivated me. First, I was struck by the fact that so many treatments worked in the laboratory but didn't help patients. You could cure cancer in mice, but not in people. We postulated that maybe the treatments in patients were not safely reaching their targets. So we collaborated with chemical engineers, oncologists, pharmacologists, the National Cancer Institute, and biotechnology companies to develop a new delivery system. Once we showed in the laboratory that we could safely and more effectively deliver drugs directly inside the brain, we worked with the Food and Drug Administration and collaborated with neurosurgeons and oncologists around the world to evaluate this treatment in patients. These studies led to the first FDA approval of a new treatment for brain tumors in 23 years. In a case of science outpacing policy, I was surprised to find that the patients could not receive this treatment because it was not reimbursed by Medicare. When our petitions to Medicare were rejected, we encouraged advocate groups to petition Congress to grant a hearing with the director of the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, to create a new DRG, a diagnostic-related group category for malignant brain tumors. Such a designation allowed Medicare and Medicaid patients to receive this new treatment. This experience demonstrates, as Dr. Miller has alluded to, the importance of healthcare providers to advocate for their patients and for their science. To effect true change, you must personally play many roles to accomplish your goals of improving patient care. As an individual physician, I have treated thousands of patients with brain tumors and have strived to give each one of them the best and most compassionate care available. However, as a scientist, I have improved the care for hundreds of thousands of brain tumor patients worldwide. And perhaps even more importantly, we've been able to stimulate others to follow suit and to break down the barriers that develop better outcomes and better access for all patients. Today, with these newly developed methods, the median survival for patients with malignant gliomas has more than doubled from a decade ago, and we now commonly see long-term survivors. While we of course recognize that it remains a devastating disease, we have demonstrated that this approach to improving outcomes works and that it is possible to bring new treatments from the laboratory to the patient and change the course of a disease. Hopefully you and your colleagues will make the discoveries that will eventually eradicate this and many other diseases. There are several take-home messages from my experiences to date. First, as Sir William Osler pointed out, learn from your patients. They are the ones who give us the experience that lets us develop the expertise to be able to do what we do. Experience and good judgment, unfortunately, also comes from making mistakes and less than good judgment and learning from it. How do you give back? We have a tremendous debt that we owe our patients for trusting their lives to us. I urge you to give back by using your talents and gifts to improve medicine. Commit yourself to advancing your field, whether your laboratory is an actual laboratory or the clinic or cyberspace or public health or policy issues. Second, always put yourself in your patient's place. Think of how you would want yourself or your family to be treated if you were suffering from the ailments that bring the patients to your care. Realize that you can never truly understand what they are individually going through, and respect the cultural differences of people and the different ways that they deal with their diseases. But the respect, courtesy, and compassion and understanding that you give should be what you would hope to receive yourself. Third, master your field. It is the minimum that you owe your patients. The practice of medicine has a very high immediate impact. You see the results of what you do every day, and how you do it has a direct and immediate effect on your patient's welfare. This is very satisfying. However, at the moment, you are limited by the current achievable outcomes. Your challenge is to overcome these limitations. Fourth, ask important questions. Ask fundamental questions whose answers will have a major impact. This advice holds true, of course, for our scientific colleagues who are graduating today, as well as the physicians. It takes just as much effort and thought to solve big, important questions as it does to address trivial ones. The impact of basic science discoveries is often enormous and unpredictable. The big, important, challenging questions are the ones that lead to change. Research has the opportunity to have a much bigger impact than the individual practice of medicine. You can reach and change the outcomes of many more people through fundamental new discoveries or research to improve current approaches. However, research is, in fact, a much higher risk endeavor than medical practice. In medicine, you generally get a predictable and acceptable result for your efforts. In research, while the stakes are much higher and far-reaching for change, the successful outcome is less predictable. Thus, the researcher is truly the risk taker. And the bigger the risk, the more challenging the questions asked, the bigger the possible gains. Some examples of recent extraordinary Hopkins scientists include Dan Nathan's discovery of restriction enzymes, which gave birth to the field of genetic engineering. This discovery has helped in the understanding, prevention, and treatment of birth defects, hereditary diseases, and cancer. Sal Snyder's discovery of opiate receptors that has revolutionized our understanding of pain and its treatment, and his elucidation of atypical neurotransmitters such as nitric oxide, which has led to the rational design of countless new treatments. Bert Vogelstein's discovery of mutations in oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes has led to pre-symptomatic detection of tumors and the basis of novel therapeutic agents for cancer. Peter Augury's discovery of water channels and cell membranes, aquaporins, that has led to new treatments for many diseases affected by poor functioning of the water and ion channels in the body. And Carol Greider's discovery of telomerase, which has given profound insights to our understanding of cancer and aging. Fifth take-home message for you, in order for you to practice at the highest level possible and to ask and answer great questions in medicine, it is very important to find mentors to learn from and to emulate. Now, I would distinguish between mentors and role models. A role model is someone whom you want to be exactly like. This would be rare and somewhat boring, and things don't improve if you're exactly like the person you are emulating. Mentors, on the other hand, do something better than you do, and therefore you can learn from them. Find many mentors. Seek out people who have mastered some aspect of their lives and careers that you would benefit from learning, and then try to understand how they do it and have them teach you. This process never ends. Equally importantly, become a mentor. The best way that you can give back to your teachers is to teach those around you. Mentoring others creates excitement in what you do and multiplies what you can accomplish. If you want to have really far-reaching impact, you will do it by inspiring and teaching those around you. Recognize that your career goes through many phases. Medical school and graduate school tend to be the foundation upon which you build your career. Residency, postdoctoral fellowships become the training ground where you learn new skills and learn to master your skills so you can function effectively and independently. Afterwards, you truly deliver on your training. You help patients, teach, and advance scientific and medical knowledge, and help develop true expertise. No matter what phase you are in your career, always ask important questions that will lead to change. Different stages focus on different challenges, but never neglect or deny your own family. Don't miss opportunities. You can focus on different aspects of your career, but your family is a constant and will always need you and be with you. And they need you, and you need them. In your work, choose activities that will have the highest impact. But realize that as important as your work is, your impact on your own family is irreplaceable and immeasurably important. No one can substitute for you as a son or as a daughter, as a sister or a brother, as a spouse, friend, or most critically, as a parent. My best advice is to learn to be passionate about each of the roles that you are embarking on. My privilege in life has been to find that I am always pulling myself away from one passionate and exciting activity to the others that need to be done and that I love doing. The balance between these forces is dynamic, and it constantly needs to be reassessed and changed at different stages of your career. At the end of your career, when you look back, what do you want to see? There is no guarantee of what the picture will look like, but of course, if you are looking back together with your loved ones, whatever you see will be more beautiful. I am hopeful that you will see the impact that you have made, the changes that you have created, the people you have helped, and you will find comfort in knowing that you did the best you could with the opportunities that were given to you. Papers, grants, even degrees and titles and awards are means to an end. Never lose sight of what you hope that end will look like for you and what your positive impact will be in the standards that you have set for yourself. I wish for each of you that you will successfully fulfill your potential in all aspects of your life and that you will balance your passions with joy. I sincerely thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts with you today. Congratulations.
Henry, thank you very much. It is